Hi, my name is Jamie Messina. If I was to ask you what successful people have in common, what would your answer be? Regardless of industry, regardless of what they do, what would your answer be when I said what a successful person has in common with the next successful person? Would it be their money? Would it be their skills? Would it be the environment in which they're in? All of those, the answer would be no. What all successful people have in common is that they made the commitment to themselves to never quit. They make that commitment because, whether it was consciously or subconsciously, but because they knew that at some point they were going to face some sort of hardship, some sort of way that wasn't going to be what they wanted, but they knew that they weren't going to quit and they were going to push through that hurdle, push through that obstacle, and get to their goal and get to what they want. Let's look at athletes. How many times have you heard a professional athlete say, especially when they win a championship, how grateful they are of their teammates, how grateful they are of their coaches, and the commitment that they all made to themselves through all the losing seasons, through all the practices, through all the losses that may have brought them to where they are, to finally get to that championship, to finally be able to have that ring because they won. You know, it's very, very common in all the different sporting industries. Maybe you're a sports fan. Maybe you're more of a musician. Well, how about the people in an orchestra? Do you think that they just pick up a bass or a cello and start playing it without any practice? Absolutely not. Do you think that they actually just come together seamlessly and start to form an orchestra and just get there without having to have any shortcomings? Absolutely not. They spend hours perfecting their skills. They spend hours perfecting their skills together. And then they have to compete to get the spots in the orchestra so that when you're watching that opera or watching that musical, you forget that that beautiful music coming out of the pit is actually human beings making that with instruments. My point is, they never quit. Bringing that back to the network marketing industry, that's one of the things that I see on a regular basis from people who get started in this industry. Network marketing, unfortunately, has a very high turnover rate, and it's not because of the industry, it's not because of the companies or the products or how things work, it's because of the people. They get started and they hit their first rough patch, and unfortunately, they think to themselves, well, the company's not for me, this was wrong or that was wrong, but never looking at themselves to say that they didn't do the things they needed to make it happen. And that's why they quit, go off to something else, and they constantly are never achieving their goals. I have seen many things in my years as a professional here in the network marketing industry. I've even seen people who get started and they quit before their welcome kit gets to their door. That's 10 days. That's, even less than 10 days sometimes. That's amazing to me that people would actually put down money to get started only to quit before they even really got started. And for those that have been doing this business for a while, maybe you're an individual who has been in a few different opportunities and unfortunately hasn't had the success that you wanted for whatever reason. If the reason was you quit, think of what that penalty was for you to have. You may have built a business, you may have had something that started to grow, and then for whatever reason you got out of the basics that you needed to do to continue to build that business, and when you quit, what happened? You went back to square one and then had to start building that business all over again. You were a team of one all over again, building for the future. I've built organizations that span the globe, and one of the things that happens all the time is that any sort of difficulty that me or my group face, any sort of rough patch that we may face, when we push through that rough patch, when we work through it, we stay calm, continue to do the basics, the one thing that happens each and every single time we get through it is we are handsomely rewarded. I've seen some of the biggest growth in my organizations once we push through one of those rough patches. Do you know why? If you believe in the laws of attraction, if you believe in the universe, it's like the universe is testing me and my group to see if we are bigger than our problem. And when you're bigger than your problem, you will always solve it, and then you have bigger and bigger things to do. And that's exactly what happens. So when you get started in a network marketing opportunity, when you get started in business for yourself, The very first thing that you have to do after you develop your why, because that's important as well, that's the first thing you got to do. After you develop that why, the very next thing that you have to do for yourself is to make the commitment to never quit. Before you make it to a spouse or a loved one or a boss or a company, you have to make that commitment to yourself first. What that does is it frees you from all the fears of failure, because you know that regardless of what happens, you're never going to quit, and you are always going to push, push, push for your goals, and you will get the things you want. You put the blinders up to the distractions, and you build that business, you build that company that you want, because it stems from your why and never quitting. I have seen it happen time and time again. People who start slowly and they make that commitment, build huge organizations. People who start quickly and make that commitment to never quit, build huge organizations. Really what it boils down to is, how are you going to do it? And that matters, because you're going to make that commitment to never quit. If you want more information about how I can help you, or how Engineered Lifestyles can help you to build your business, simply contact us through our Contact Us form, and we'd be more than happy to share more information with you. Connect with us on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course, our blog, which you'll see at the end of this video. My name is Jamie Messina. I'm always so happy and grateful to help you build your business, because this is an amazing industry in which we're in. Have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you very soon in an upcoming video. Bye for now.